Just waking up from a nice dream. Bitcoin pumping on a live stream. Smile shine brighter than a high beam. Never seen live trading on a widescreen. Bitcoin showing you the steps to own it. We got the alpha, I bet you want it. I'm having fun, send a lecture on it. Randy, put a little extra on it.
It's mutable and decentralized. No censorship or hard cap supply. It's open source and we classify the blockchain secure, and that's exactly why. It's hard money with a new plan. It bounced a lot like this new jam. If Bitcoin dipped, then we ain't gon' trip. I'ma be bullish on you, fam.
I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. 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 I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it.
This video is sponsored by Cake Wallet, the easiest open source wallet to store Bitcoin, Monero, and Litecoin securely on mobile and desktop devices. When buying, selling, and exchanging crypto or trading for gift cards, Cake Wallet ensures privacy and security, giving you the keys to your coins. At Vacation Genie, we believe digital currencies are meant to do more than just sit in your wallet. They're meant to take you places. We want to help you step into the future of cryptocurrency spending, as travel is one of the top categories for spending your crypto. It provides you with the best ROI, lasting memories. Make sure to check out Vacation Genie today. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Zest. I'm your host, Randi Hipper, here today on a lovely Wednesday. We are officially midweek and getting after it, so I'm excited to be here. As always, we have a few headlines for you today, but we're also, instead of me doing the TA today at the end of the show, we're going to have our Bitcoin bestie, Cassius Cuvee, join us. So if you're bullish on Cassius and you're bullish on the fact that maybe, is the local bottom in? Who knows? Who knows? But Cassius and I are going to dive into that. We also have the Bank of England. We have Marathon Holdings news if you guys are following that stock. Grayscale ETF head might have left the company as they are filing for an IPO. We're also going to have South Korea news as well. So we got the Bank of England. We got South Korea. Senate Republicans are drafting bills for the crypto market structure, and the SEC approved, then took back kind of what they said about an ETF. So we'll dive into that. Ondo has an ETF filing, and Kraken's helping. Well, there is a biotech firm, and there might be a BNB treasury in play. Now, we've been talking about treasuries, so Bitcoin, Ethereum treasuries, and now people are skewing into BNB as well. BNB price action is also super spicy. So we'll dive into that, your coins to watch, and then we're going to bring on Cassius to give us our beautiful charts. So I'm so excited. Again, if you're ready for the zest, the news, the education, smash the like, subscribe to the channel, share it out with friends, and let's get after it. Bitcoin is down 2% at the moment, but it's okay because we're going to get 150 likes, 150 live viewers, and we have a subscriber goal here of 22,540 subs, 10 more. I think we can get there. I'm bullish. What's with today's prices, you're asking, my friend, on TikTok? And this is normal. I don't think 2% in the red is that big of a deal. I think I've been in crypto too long where, like, none of this bothers me. You know, I'm just happy either way because the fundamental revolution of Bitcoin always remains. So as you say good morning to me, as I say good morning to you, check out our three amazing sponsors, Cake Wallet, Market Cipher, and Vacation Genie, and we're gonna get after it. Vacation Genie is awesome. We love Vacation Genie. We also love Market Cipher, and we also love Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet is just, I just want to say this real quick too. I absolutely love watching the evolution of Cake Wallet. I just like, the team is spectacular. They've grown so much, and just like the way the app started, like when I first looked at Cake Wallet versus now, it's just, I love seeing all the additions over time. And then you look at old screenshots. I don't know if you guys do this, but I take screenshots of things like wallets and everything like that. And when you look back at what wallets used to look like and how simple it was, and now they have like swaps and, you know, on ramps and off ramps. Like, to me, that's just so, it's so simple. It sounds so simple, but to me, it's just beautiful. I love to see everything happen. Bulldog Eric, a member for 32 months, said, "Let's stay zesty, y'all. We love our Randy forever." Oh. You know, guys, I appreciate you. I'm feeling like very lovey today. I am. And I just like appreciate you guys more than you understand. And I know I say that a lot, but it's so true. And I love this show and I love this community. It just means everything to me. So let's say good morning. We got Jesse, Mike Volmer, good morning. We got Black Hat. We got Peace of Mind. My flavor choice of coffee for today, it's just like, it's an iced latte, basically, is what it is. I don't put flavor in it. Maybe I'm too boring. Maybe I'm just too boring. Boring. Return of the necklace. Oh, yeah, I took it off. I like, just took a break. Sometimes you need to take the jewelry off and take a break, We got JC. We got Fitz. Good morning, my G. Good morning. We have everyone chatting it up in here. Mama Shadow, Backup. We got Bobby F, Po Man, Doge Bowl. Good morning. Aquarian. Greg is on X. Good morning. Mike Mazzone is on X, I believe, with Yukio. I think I saw Yukio already. Curtis, good morning. I was hanging out in Alex O Crypto's chat earlier. It was popping in there. Everyone always has such a good time in that chat. Shout out to the Otter Gang. We have John Legend, good morning. Poe is chilling. We have everyone in here. Dragonborn, hello. Said, hi, Randy. Keep on fighting the good fight. As always, sir. As always. We have Patrick Murphy on YouTube today and on TikTok. He handles TikTok quite well. And we gotta salute Patrick for the work he puts in over there. Let's get into everything, right? One House Production. If I didn't say good morning to you, yell at me in the chat, and I'm gonna see it, and hopefully I see it, so that way I can give everyone a good morning, because we like to give good mornings and spread love and positivity. As the market is looking a little bit red today, now people are panicking. What's happening? What's happening? Guys, why are we panicking? It's a 2% drop for Bitcoin. Keep calm, huddle on. Always have a bullish and a bearish case scenario. Of course, people are dealing with leverage. Again, when you are dealing with leverage, just keep in mind the risk that you're simply taking. Okay, so just risk management, I think, is something that we can stress a lot. Cassius is also going to be on later, and Cassius is going to break down a lot of really good tips and tricks for you guys if you are trading. So just keep calm, huddle on. We are still in price discovery mode here with Bitcoin, $117,665 today. We're down 1.97%. Most important thing to look at here is the fact that we are still holding 117.5. 117.5. That's the most important thing. It is our golden zone at the moment to target that $123,000 Bitcoin all-time high. I think we can get there yet again. Maybe this is a nice, chill, cool off period. You can even, again, we look back at the charts. When in doubt, zoom out, right? We initially passed 101, came up to 112, came back down to 101, held, right? And then boom, we targeted 109, which was the previous all-time high previous to 112. Got through that with some nice confidence. Now we're over here at 117. Now getting to the bearish end of things, right? If you're looking at a bearish scenario, maybe you can even look back to that 109, maybe even 101, which is where we kind of were battling with even back here in December while we were trying to get to that 109. So even more like of a bearish scenario, look at 101.5. I think that is definitely something to watch. But ideally, you want to stay at 117 and target new highs, and we all go to the moon and have a good time. Overall, though, we are still doing well in the past year. Bitcoin is up 75%, and the year is not over. So we're going to see, but year to date, we are up about 26% with Bitcoin. Red dot is printed here on the momentum, pulling it back here on the daily view. And also, VWAP is a little bit flat and slightly bearish today. Again, making sense why we are pulling back. Though the money flow continues to increase, we do want to see a confident move, obviously, to the upside with the VWAP. And then the RSI is telling us the story as well, that we are pulling back. And we are still bullish. We are still bullish. We're in a good spot right now. We want to maintain this spot and move on upwards. But the fact that we are just kind of mid-bull, as I would say, we have room to run to the upside. But also we could maybe use a retrace, because we had a major move with the RSI right here. And usually with the RSI, usually with the RSI, when you have a major move down, like even down here, you make up for it. But when you have that major move to the upside, you're going to eventually come back down. So I am hoping that, again, we hold the spot, but it would be nice to have a pullback. Everyone calms down a little bit. We create some more solid footing above $100,000 and move on up. We're getting after it. I'm so bullish on Bitcoin. I am so bullish on this asset. It's actually ridiculous. We're going to talk about your breaking news headlines. We're going to get into that before Cassius comes on and just whips us with knowledge. So we're going to talk about the Bank of England, South Korea. So we're going to start off as usual internationally and skew into what's happening in the United States. So if you're bullish, smash a like, subscribe, share, comment with rocket emojis, and let's do it. Alrighties. The Bank of England is maybe debating throwing out their CBDC plan, and I just can't. The fact that this is even a headline, I don't know. I think it's very interesting. We're going to hear what goes on here, but you think they're really going to throw this away? I don't know. Maybe they'll skew towards the United States route of things, where we passed the Genius Act. We basically greenlight a digital dollar, except it's branded as a stable coin, which is a stable coin, and it's not as controlling or controlled as a CBDC. But maybe they're going to go the USA route, create a lot of Euro stable coins, and just rock with that. It's hard for me to believe, though. Britain's central bank is reportedly considering axing their CBDC plans over concerns that it may not be beneficial to the bank or the financial system. The BOE is reconsidering their plans for a consumer-focused digital pound amid growing skepticism about its necessity and benefits. The BOE officials are privately encouraging banks to accelerate payment innovations instead of creating a consumer CBDC. The central bank's governor, Andrew Bailey, stated that he would need a lot of convincing if commercial bank innovations succeed. That's wild. And he said, I think that's a sensible place to do it. If that's a success, I question why we need to introduce a new form of money. And he kind of is going back on what the BOE was initially discussing, which we've been following for years on this show, which is that they were pushing for the digital euro. They were saying it was likely needed. If you can even go look at the BOE's website, you could go look at all of these websites with like the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. Everyone is in cahoots when it comes down to CBDCs. They've been testing this for years. We even have a live stream from the Bank of International Settlements from like 2-3 years ago talking about how the digital euro is basically, they know what's going to go on. They know what their plan is, and they were ready to execute for a retail digital euro. None of this is new. And so the fact that they're saying, oh, we might can this, it's so hard for me to believe that they would. I mean, the ideal case scenario is that it does get abolished like worldwide. Like we say, hey, we're not going to go the CBDC route. We are going to have different currencies. We're going to have different stable coins. We got to be inclusive. TradFi is going to end up getting tokenized, but we also need to preserve the basic fundamental human rights, which is life, liberty, and property. And again, that applies to the whole world and should not just apply to America. And so I definitely hope that they do can it. They go the stablecoin route and they allow crypto payments, and they ultimately just say, hey, we're going to kind of ease on the pressure that we were trying to put on the crypto industry. Although crypto continues to thrive, banks within these euro areas continue to get involved in crypto in one way or another. So not surprising that maybe they're going to ease it up a little bit, especially because America is kind of putting an anti-CBDC stance at the moment, which I think is the best case scenario for this country and for the entire world. Oh yeah, the lighting is different today, so I'm going to try to work on that after this episode. I thought yesterday I could get away with it, but today it's a little bit much. So yeah, I will fix the lighting. Thank you guys for that, actually, because I wasn't sure how it was looking for you. Yeah, listen, everyone's, again, I see comments everywhere. Everyone's worrying about price action right now. Keep calm. hodl on. We're going to be okay, guys. South Korea is telling firms to cut their exposure. To what exactly and why? I think they're picking on us a little bit. South Korea's financial regulator has informally warned local asset managers to reduce their exposure to crypto ETFs and U.S.-listed digital asset firms. The Financial Supervisory Service, the FSS, verbally told several firms to limit their exposure to Coinbase stock, strategy stock, and to comply with its 2017 policy stance. The report seemed to suggest a change in policy by the country, as it was previously reported that the regulator was looking at easing some of the trading requirements for crypto. The FSS's policy prohibits regulated financial institutions from holding or buying equity investments in digital assets. And I thought for a little while maybe South Korea was going to flip their script a little bit more and be more pro-crypto, but it seems as though they're not too bullish on the situation. And to tell firms to pull back on the crypto ETFs, do they know something maybe we don't? Or they're just kind of sticking it to the man? Or maybe, just maybe, there will be some South Korean crypto ETFs. And they tell people, hey, don't touch these. Ours are better. That would be the plot twist of a century, wouldn't it? But it does seem like the U.S. crypto ETFs are pretty dominant out in the TradFi world. Just interesting thoughts to be had. But that's the latest in South Korea. Apparently, South Koreans really like XRP. So that's one thing that you can note about them. So it's crazy that they're actually coming after the crypto ETFs. I wonder what the real story is. In other news, we have Marathon Holdings looking to raise more funds to purchase Bitcoin and other purposes, as they like to say in these reports. Bitcoin miner Marathon Holdings to raise $850 million to buy Bitcoin and, as they like to say, other purposes. This is like the the main phrase in like most of these reports when they go and buy Bitcoin, or they say, hey, we're going to raise funds to buy Bitcoin. It's always Bitcoin and other corporate purposes. And things of that nature. I just think it's funny. But almost $1 billion to go ahead and buy Bitcoin. So these buys are going to keep on happening. And this is a Bitcoin miner that clearly cannot mine it fast enough. So they said, we need to hold more now. And so this is not surprising to me whatsoever. So the miners are going to keep mining it, but they might not be selling them. And then we're going to have a supply shock. And I'm waiting for the day the supply shock comes, because people are going to go run to exchanges. Exchanges aren't going to have all that they want. You know, there's not that many Bitcoin left to tied to centralized exchanges. There's probably only about 2 million at this point. Last time I checked a few weeks ago, it was 2.07 million. I could get the current number if you guys want to request that in the chat. But there really isn't a lot of Bitcoin, period. And the ETF issuers are holding a lot. Sailor's company alone, Strategy, 600,000 Bitcoin to their name. I mean, there's not a lot left on the table, friends. Not a lot left on the table. Doesn't mean there won't always be sellers, because there always will be. And it also doesn't mean that, you know, 1 Bitcoin is unachievable, because anyone can achieve anything. Plus, we don't have to worry about whole coins. We have Satoshis. So, and there's plenty of those to go around as well. So I'm not trying to incite panic of any sort, or just say, hey, grab yours now before there's none left. I'm just saying, think about the numbers, the facts, and your conviction on the asset. Anyway, we got Marathon at $17.89. We have it down 10% today. Woof. Looking over here at a $17 200-day SMA. Of course, you do not want to reject that. You want to hold support right here at your $18. So if you happen to reject this 200-day SMA, you're looking at $15 bullishly. You are looking over here at $26 Marathon. And then you have the red dot pulling down that momentum. VWAP is a little bit negative today. Again, all these things pointing to negative price action, which we are clearly seeing as it's down 10%. So hopefully, again, you stay above the 200-day SMA. I think that's the most important level to watch for that at the moment. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I hope you're doing well today. All the love to every single one of you guys. Please smash the like, subscribe, share it. I know the summer is like, everyone's on the beach and putting their toes in the sand, but we got to do some crypto too. And enjoy it. As we move on to our next headline, we do have our Grayscale ETF head actually to exit the firm as they're eyeing an IPO. Grayscale, man. You got to give Grayscale the credit. They put in the work with the SEC to have the judge rule that they could convert their Bitcoin trust into an ETF. And they were like the ones that really opened the doors for the ETFs that we have today. Now their ETF guy and their CEO also left after that ruling, which he was really good at his job. David Lavelle, the global head of ETFs at Grayscale Investments, is set to leave the crypto asset manager at the end of July. Unchained reported, citing people familiar with the matter. Now, Lavelle joined Grayscale back in July of 2021 as the firm was grappling with investor dissatisfaction over the widening discount of its flagship Bitcoin trust. At the time, it held around $25 billion, making the company the largest crypto asset manager. Its price lagged far behind the value of the Bitcoin it held, which frustrated the shareholders. But his exit is following, again, the resignation of their CEO, Michael, and he was really good at his job. I think he spoke very well publicly when he was on interviews with CNBC and things of that nature. I'll never forget the interview, and I really feel like he foretold what was going to happen. He was saying, essentially, they're going to get this Bitcoin ETF approved. And once they have the Bitcoin ETF approved, it's going to open Pandora's box. And that's not what Gary Gensler wanted. Gary Gensler wanted to push back everything related to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, even though he is a true crypto bro, which I'm going to stick with my tinfoil hat thinking of he's an undercover crypto bro. However, goes to show again, he was saying Gary Gensler doesn't want this Pandora's box opened. And once he has to approve the Bitcoin ETF, it's going to make way for all the other ETFs and all the other altcoins to go ahead and have their ETFs for all the trad bros to go jump in on. And it was very true, because now look at what we have. We have Litecoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs. We have top 5 ETFs where it's tracking I think it's the CoinDesk 20 index or something of that nature. Then we also have we have XRP. We got Dogecoin ETFs. We got Trump coin ETFs that are filed. So there's just so much going on. And I don't think people really think back to how quickly this all happened and almost how spoiled we've gotten with the amount of money in this system. It's crazy. Anyway, we're going to talk about Senate Republicans. They did release a draft bill for crypto market structure. The Republican leaders on the U.S. Senate Banking Committee have released their version of legislation for a digital asset market structure, suggesting they may be combining their efforts with a bill passed in the House. And in a Tuesday notice, 4 Republican senators, including the Banking Committee Chair Tim Scott and Digital Asset Subcommittee Chair Cynthia Lummis, they released a discussion draft of the crypto market legislation. According to these lawmakers, the tentatively titled Responsible Financial Innovation Act builds on the Clarity Act, which was passed in the House on July 17th. Tim Scott says, "My colleagues in the House and Senate and I share the same goal, provide clear rules of the road for digital assets." So legislation is going to continue to happen. Even Cynthia Lummis posted something this morning saying, let's just get things done. This woman, I give her a lot of credit. Whether you like her or not, she is a hard worker. It's crazy. And she went on the news. She's like, let's stay through August, finish the job. She's like, no one should go anywhere. Let's finish what we got to do. And you just got to give her credit. She gets after it, this lady. She has so much energy. She just puts in so much work. So it's just cool to see that. So I want to throw that in there as well. She's like, we're staying through August and we're getting after it, period. Black Hat, we're on the editor's picks page of Rumble. Why, thank you, Rumble. Shout out to Rumble. The SEC approved and immediately paused Bitwise's bid to convert BitW crypto index fund to an ETF. Now, this is interesting. And I have a feeling the SEC might just do like a little slingshot moment where they have all the crypto ETFs, they pull it back, and then they let go and just approve them all. It's going to be like a whole like altcoin ETF bonanza, which is something that I think would be just wild if they did. If they did them one by one, it would be not as crazy as of an impact, but it would definitely impact like those ecosystems for sure. Now, the fund holds 90% of its weight in Bitcoin, ETH, with the remainder spread across Solana, XRP, Cardano, Avalanche, Chainlink, Bitcoin Cash, Uniswap, and Polkadot. It does manage $1.68 billion in assets and rebalances monthly. They launched this fund back in 2017, and Bitwise is pretty ahead of the curve. The 2.5% expense ratio remains steep by ETF standards, but the conversion to a spot ETF would make it the first multi-asset crypto index ETF in the United States if it proceeds. Now, this was the one I was mentioning before, Grayscale's digital large cap fund, the GDLC, which tracks Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Solana, and Cardano. It also received SEC approval before the agency reversed course, pausing the fund's launch. So they said that they're gonna review delegated action, and because it was similar to Grayscale, they want to go and review that as well. With that pause, you'd think Gensler's still at it. Listen, Gary Gensler, he's chilling probably at MIT right now. Gary is probably having a good old time. He's doing okay. Please make sure you smash the like, subscribe, and share. We're gonna have Cassius on in just a moment. Just quickly, 21 shares filed with the SEC for a spot Ondo ETF. So if you're a fan of Ondo, watch out for that one. Kraken is going to support a biotech firm, Wintree's $200 billion BNB treasury. NASDAQ-listed biotech firm Windtree Therapeutics has entered into a strategic partnership with crypto exchange Kraken to manage their BNB-focused crypto treasury program. They'll see Kraken handle custody, trading, and OTC execution of BNB assets for Windtree. And so there's been $60 million raised. Another $140 million could be on the cards for their treasury strategy for BNB. So potentially overall a $200 million deal. Boy, if you are bullish on BNB, now is the time to see the bullishness come to life. We are at, in the past 24 hours, $3.66 billion in volume. That is crazy. Market cap of $109.47 billion. It is number 5 right now on CoinMarketCap. Look at this. Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, BNB behind Tether, which I don't think counts because it's a stable coin. But look at that. That's crazy. BNB is taking off today. Hold on. Let's get our BNB chart. BNB. Okay. BNB passing its golden zone like nothing you've ever seen. This is crazy. Just an absolute launch. Only a little bit of a quick wick low to our golden zone of around 678. Previous all-time high was right here at 794. We did hit a high today, and I could get the exact high instead of kind of just estimating here. We need accuracy. Let me see if I could get some accuracy for you. BNB, an all-time high now of $807.81. So if you're holding XRP, BNB, congratulations. Talk about a run. That's the daily chart. Just wild, insane action going on BNB. Like, this chart is just unbelievable. And so, congratulations to all the BNB holders who kept calm, hodled on, especially through all the Binance drama the past few years. And now you may be reaping rewards. You're up 33% in the past year. 13% in the past week alone. Green dot bringing up that momentum. Everything looking good. Although the VWAP, I'm surprised, is a little bit flat. Almost bearish, in fact. maybe that's due to the quick run, and maybe it's going to have a pullback of some sort, which I wouldn't be surprised. We are very overbought. Again, what goes up must come down as well. Bullish, bearish case scenario, all the things, especially when something hits an all-time high and it's in price discovery. Even like Bitcoin, you don't know what's going to happen next. So Bitcoin is still holding quite well above that 117.5. So we're going to get after it. We're going to bring on Cassius in just a moment. We're going to do coins to watch, and then I'm going to bring him on. So in about 2 minutes-ish. If you guys are ready for your coins to watch, sip your coffees, smash the like, subscribe, share, get ready for Cassius Cuvee. Let's go. Leading the gainers today is Cake up 5%, Volta up 4.8%, Flare up 4.49%, BNB up around 3%, Pengu up 2.5%. Pengu's like taking over the world. Conflux up, actually down 9.6%. We do have Athena down 8.7%. And then we have Radium up 6.87%, Toncoin down 6.7%, and Arbitrum down 6.5%. Man, Ton is taking over the world too. Ton is wild, and like they actually have done a lot for adoption, and they're doing like really well with their app and like the integrations. I think they've done a pretty good job. So I will say that. Give me one moment. Let me go do this. Get on Zoom and. Boop. Beautiful. And now we're going to let in Cassius whenever he's ready. So let's do it. Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay. All right. Beautiful. So as we wait, let's take a look here. Let's keep taking looks at some charts until Cassius is ready. I think he should be on in a moment. Okay, let's see. We're looking good though, overall. Bitcoin, we could even take a gander over here. Check out the live. Yes, please make sure you guys check out the live on YouTube so you guys can listen to Cassius. Actually, that's a good thing that you guys mentioned it, because on TikTok, they won't be able to hear me. So, or they won't be able to hear Cassius. So if you're on TikTok, come over to YouTube, X, or Rumble. Cassius, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Thanks for having me on. How are you, Randy?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. It's going to be a good time. And I'm just like bullish on Bitcoin crypto overall. People are flipping out that we're down 2% today, but it's not a big deal. I don't know why a 2% drop is scaring people. What do you think?
When the price drops, don't get angry. Man, that's just how the game be. So, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. You just got to roll with the punches.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that you have a lot going on. So fill everyone in on what has happened since last week. If there's anything you want people to know, and let people, of course, know when you go live. So I could drop your links in the chat right now.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, I have my live show that come up with Cassius Cuvee every Sunday at noon Pacific time. So a little, you know, Sunday fun day, weekend chart watching, and I teach technical analysis. I'm a leverage trader full time, so you know I really give a lot of tips and tricks on that, which I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff today.
Absolutely. And I'm just showing your YouTube channel right now. You're still at 10.9K subs. So hopefully you guys could go and subscribe and give Cassius some love so he could go ahead and hit his goal of 11,000 subscribers. And he's growing like a weed over there on YouTube, which is amazing. And he's spreading all those tunes for years now. So he's like a Bitcoin and crypto OG. And so you got to give him the respect he deserves. So we got some things happening. We kind of tapped 120K and everything. Show your charts. Hold on. I think I gave you permission to do that.
Let me share my screen so we can pull up some chart action here.
Yeah.
First things first. All right. You can see that, right?
I think, yeah, there you go. Perfect.
All right. So, there's a couple of things I wanted to go over. So thanks for having me on. I know not everybody is a short-term trader. So I trade leverage trading. I do it short-term, long-term, whatever. But obviously we're long-term bull on Bitcoin, right? I carry the Bitcoin pin around on my neck here. But, in the meantime, just like I say in the song, also, I'm going to do both, just ride the wave, right? Some like to hodl, some like to trade. So What I wanted to show though is some tidbits today. I've got some tips and tricks like I always say I like teaching people how to make money trading, but my passion is to keep you from getting wrecked. So there's a couple of things I want to go over. I want to show you Heikin-Ashi candles. I want to show you isolation mode and alerts you can set on Market Cipher B and copy trading. And I'll go through them pretty quickly so we let everybody, we are not on here all day. But this is the Bitcoin chart. And I wanted to show you, these are the standard candles. You guys can see that, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the chart. Okay, so these are what the standard candles. This is what we usually look at, right? And just one quick trick is sometimes you want to turn on the Heikin-Ashi candles. That's these ones here. And what they are is actually it's like an average of what was happening in the previous candles. And what this does is it helps you trade with the trend. You can see it's different on every time frame. But it doesn't look quite like there's wicks and stuff, but they don't operate exactly the same as the regular candles. So as a trader, it's usually a good idea to trade with the trend, right? The trend is your friend till the end. And these candles can kind of give you insights on that. Now, I don't use them necessarily as my primary because I'm very precise with my entries usually, but you can switch to them to kind of see. There's like strategies that say you'll wait till the third Heikin-Ashi candle before you enter your trade to follow it down. And if the trend's going up, maybe you shouldn't enter. Like if you're going to enter a short, I should say, right here, right, trying to catch the top of Bitcoin here, something like that. Or same thing down here at the bottom. You might wait for a couple of the Heikin-Ashi green candles. There's more specific strategies on that. People have different stuff on that, but I definitely want to call it out. And just since I've got it here, I even have the actual definition and the actual the math that they do it on. I'm going to show you guys here real quick.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm going to show you because it's a little complex, right? So this is on Investopedia. So if you guys don't know Investopedia, shout out Caleb Silver. He's editor-in-chief of Investopedia. So can you see the Investopedia's chart?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So just, you look it up here, and I won't keep it up here the whole time, but basically it's an average price of the current bar, and then that's the close. The open is the midpoint of the previous bar. And then there's the high and the low, right? So you can look that up on Investopedia. That's just kind of the difference between standard candles and Heikin-Ashi. And people like CryptoFace are the ones who really put me on the Heikin-Ashi candles because it's good to trade with the trend. That's one of the reasons he wins so much, right? He's not trying to call tops and bottoms like I'm usually doing that, and I do a pretty good job of it, I got to tell you guys. But like trading with the trend, you don't have to catch the perfect top or the perfect bottom. You're just riding the wave, and then you get out. Yeah, exactly. Then you get out basically after it starts going your way again. Okay, let me stop sharing this screen. I'm going to go back to the charts.
You can make money both ways, like people think you could just only make money if it goes up, which again, if you buy and hold, then that's definitely a good way because over time, Bitcoin appreciates, and that's proven by the history, it's proven by the facts. However, if you do want to trade, then yeah, you could, take advantage of whatever opportunity is out there.
And just for the record, I don't try to short Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not on my short list. My general strategy, and I am going to show you this other screen here in a minute too, I trade on Fimex, so let me show you that real quick because I have this. I'm actually in a lot of shorts today, and everything is green. Can you see the Fimex chart here, right? Everything is green today because I'm betting on stuff to go down, right? So even this coin here, DYM, right? My position is here, and I'm shorting on it going down, right? Total wins right now. And basically, my strategy is that Bitcoin's been the strongest coin this entire cycle. But there are other coins that have not been so strong, okay? And what I relatively do that to is compared to in January when everything was hitting their all-time highs and then we had everything pull back. Bitcoin came back and bounced again and made new all-time highs, and a lot of the other altcoins have lagged. And those are the ones that are showing me weakness, and then I look at it short-term as well. Like in my Discord group, I call it out. I'm like, past 48 hours, this coin has been showing relatively weakness, so if we are going to go short, that's the one I'm going to short. I don't short Bitcoin. So I hope that kind of makes sense. And but one of the things, and this is very important here, so for everyone who's new to leverage trading, one of the most important things is this right up here where it says isolate. This tells you how much your leverage is going to be, both long and short, right here. But the default is on cross. Always turn it to isolation. I want to call this out. This is how you protect your whole bankroll from getting wrecked. That's why this is very important, okay? Cross is the default, but what that means is it's going to use your whole bankroll. So the 8,000 that's here or whatever is kind of at risk. I could show you real quick, right? So my leverage, so I have a stop loss in here, but the leverage is the gold one. If I were to change that to cross, it will disappear. It would get off the screen. You see, I just completely, it's like my whole bankroll. So if I didn't have a stop loss and the trade started going against me, it would just go against me until all of my money was gone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So isolation means it's just on that one particular trade.
So now it would get stopped out here first. It wouldn't take all of my money. So even if I lost 100% of this trade, which of course would suck, it's still only going to be like whatever I have on this ticker, which is whatever, the $92, something like that. You get what I'm saying? So I can't lose my 8,000. If all of a sudden one of these altcoins decides to go to the moon and shoot up 10x or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
So that's just, again, my passion is to keep you from getting wrecked. So isolation, and it's important because the default is on cross. So you always have to, anytime you open, like if I could just pick a new ticker, like we talking about BNB, right? BNB, shout out to BNB holders, hitting an all-time high yesterday, right? See how the default is on cross? You always have to go in. Every time you open a new ticker, you got to go in and change it back to oscillate. And that's at least on Fimex, but I think it's like that on other platforms as well, trading platforms. So I definitely want to call that out because it's one of those things that new folks don't always know that. If you're only trading one ticker and you're one of those people who uses your entire bankroll to trade it, like some people do that, that's not my strategy. But if you do that, I guess it doesn't really matter. Other than that, though, I don't really see the upside of having on cross. It's just kind of a protection thing. You see AJ says, a lot of people are like, what are you doing? Put it on isolation, So anyways, I just have to call that out for anybody who's interested in leverage trading. One other thing, I have officially started my copy trading account. So this is my copying trading account. So anybody who got in with me is green on all these positions as well right now. So if you have a Fimex account, all you got to do is go at the top here under futures and click on copy trade. And then it takes you to the copy trading page. Okay. And then you'll find Cassius. And then I'm going to show you a different screen. Let me stop trading this one. I'll show you a different screen just to show you my copy trading stats here real quick. And then all you have to do is click copy. It's like really simple. So here's my copy trading stats. Let's see. Reload. So this is because this is what I'm up right now in my position. So the way it works is you have a set bankroll that you want to put in to copy me or whomever else you're copying, right? And basically the way it works is I have my bankroll, and then you say I want to allocate $10,000, $100,000, $1,000. Doesn't matter how much you want to allocate to copy Cassius Cuvee. When I enter in, say, 1% of my position on a trade, it's 1% of your bankroll. So if you had $100,000 and I only had $10,000, I might be only entering 1% on mine, but that would be $1,000 of your money. If I entered 10% on mine, it'd be $1,000 of mine might be on a trade. It'd be $10,000 of yours if you had a $100,000 account. But if you only had a $1,000 account and I entered 10%, it would only be $100, right? So it's a ratio that's identical to what I'm trading here. So my total RI, I'm up 19% right now, basically, is what that's showing you. So this is my little chart. This will be higher when I close these trades out. Obviously, I'm up on the trades right now you just saw on Fimex. So anyways, that's kind of it. And I'll put if you guys want to copy trade me and you don't have a Fimex account, I'm going to put that in the chat real quick. There's the link. I just put in the chat right now. And that'll take you to Fimex. It has my invite code automatically entered. You get special points and perks, I should say, when you use my invite link to create a Fimex account. And you also get free access to my Discord for 1 year. So you can utilize that for that as well. Doesn't matter whatever level you're on. If you're experienced or new, we have both in my Discord.
Someone in the chat asked a question. Bitnuendo said, the Heikinashi shows the longer trend versus the regular candle shows more immediate price action. Do you agree with that? And what time frame would you like to use the Heikinashi candles?
Kind of an apples to orange comparison, right? Heikinashi is always going to help you show the trends because you see the colors that all shine through. In fact, I'll pull it back up again because Heikinashi is pretty cool. I like to switch back and forth, and you can set them as favorites, which is what I have here, which is why I can just easily bounce in between them like this. So here's the regular ones. I mean, these are showing you the exact prices, right? Like if you hover over a candle, you'll see up here the open, the high, the low, and the close of any candle, right? And so the wick, the top of a wick is the high, bottom of the wick is the low. The open is the body of the candle, open and close of the bodies. Heikinashi, it's not precise like that, but you can certainly see it. Now, for me, it depends on what time frame I'm trading on, right? Like if I'm scalping, I'm probably not using Heikinashi because I have to be very, very precise. But if you're doing like a swing trade, then you can look at a longer time. Let's look at like a ETH, just something with a little more volatility, right? In ETH, if you were on the 4-hour chart in ETH and you caught somewhere down here or whatever, you would have just rode this wave all the way up. You would have made yourself a nice percentage here, all the way up, over a day, 10 bars, 23%, just because you were waiting for a couple of red Heikinashi candles before you even got out. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, exactly.
Heikinashi can help you like that. And then let's see if we put it here. I mean, not everyone, it depends on your strategy. Not everyone's going to get out just because they've seen a couple of red candles, but the Heikin-Ashi shows you that the trend is continuing. The other thing that shows you is market cipher B. Down here, it will also work slightly differently with the Heikin-Ashi. Sometimes you'll see a dot that's a little bit later. And the reason is because when you're doing the averages, it takes a little bit later for the dots to respond. It's not always later, but sometimes it is. And so, again, you're entering after the trend has started. If you're going up, right, it's going to be like after this green dot is where you would enter, and then boom, you would ride it all the way up. We can also look at it on the NASDAQ, just so you guys know too, I came from like TradFi. I used to trade stocks a lot. And so I'm a firm believer that the NASDAQ is kind of still leading the market in digital assets. It's a high risk asset, index, if you will. It's the tech stocks. And, crypto still trades a lot like a tech stock. And so I'm always looking for the NASDAQ. And I think part of the reason that we're having this sell-off is because the NASDAQ is finally giving us a few red days here. Well, I'll put it, it's only a couple red days, really not many if we were going to look at it on the regular. So a couple red days and altcoins freak out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After the run some of them have had, I mean, look at Tezos. I'm in a Tezos short right now. I actually took a little bit of profit on it this morning, but XTZ is Tezos, if you guys remember from back in the day, like she said, we've been around for a while. It was an NFT platform. And so, it had an epic pump over the weekend. I entered my short here. I wrote it down here. My take profit one was right here this morning. So to me, some of these got over their skis a little bit. It's been a relatively bearish ticker all of this time. You see it came all the way down since December. To me, this run was not a little bit, it was a lot over its skis. So risk versus reward, it was time to enter a short as far as my analysis had told me that. And so I definitely don't want to go over every little tip and trick on technical analysis right now or on the show. I know we're wrapping it up here in a second, but I'm shorting altcoins that I feel like get too excited. Those are the ones I'll short. And then when they're down, then maybe you buy them, or I'll buy strong coins. I'd buy a BNB, I'd buy Bitcoin, I'd buy Ethereum, I'd buy the ones that have been showing me strength. I always say go long strength and short weakness. That's one of the things I always like to say.
Oh, that's a nice one. I like that. No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think you definitely threw in a lot of stuff today that was super educational for me, at least. And I hope for other people as well. Someone in the chat, Peace of Mind, said, I feel like I'm slowly learning a foreign language. And when I first looked at charts, I was bewildered. I was lost in the woods. And I just was like, okay, I'm in totally foreign territory. And it is almost a new language, I would say. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do agree with that. When I first started trading, I wasn't looking at charts. I was doing it the way we all do it, following Twitter and the narratives and these types of things.
Yeah.
But looking at the charts, when I first got on, I'm like hardcore, and it's got Market Cipher hardcore. I'm just like staring. I'm like, I say this once on the Market Cipher song with Crypto Face. I'm like, the end of the song, I go, glued to the charts, got a pee in a diaper. I'm like literally watching them all day long. That's kind of how I was this weekend. And but that's how you learn. And so when I do my Sunday show, I go into more details about what I'm looking at on the chart. So yeah, tap in with me Sunday at noon, and I answer any questions that are in the chat. I can't really see the chat right now while I'm on with you, but when I'm on my live show, I'm in the chat responding to everybody, and I'm in my Discord 7 days a week. So my Discord 7 days a week. Any questions in there? It's not just me answering too. So if I'm not available, there's other experienced traders in there who will give answers as well. Anywhere in the world too. We're 24/7 in there.
That's beautiful. No, you have a great community. And I just put your YouTube channel in the chat for people to go subscribe and listen to you on Sunday. No, this is great. And I absolutely love having you on the show. We'll definitely continue to do this and everything like that. So yeah, I'm overall bullish, and I think people are going to learn a lot. And people are funny in the chat. Blockchain Cowboy said, great info, man. He explains so well. It's true. We need the education, and that's why I really like bringing you on, is because you bring that basic education that we all really need. And especially because I believe trading is going mainstream right now, where people are relying less on TradFi and I'm gonna go to a broker or whatever. I gotta go listen to what some dude tells me to do. Nah, people in this generation,
and take 10% of your money or whatever too.
Exactly. No, we could do everything ourselves now in this generation. We have everything in the palm of our hands. So I feel like trading is really going to empower people. So thank you, Cassius, so much. I appreciate you. Everybody, please go follow him. Are there any last things you want to say? Maybe how you feel about ending this week? Are we going to close above 120K for this week or no?
Ooh, well, first of all, thanks for having me on, and shout out to the chat. I appreciate everybody in the chat and the community, and Randi Hipper's got a great community as well. So, and basically, and also I want to say congratulations, another great spot on Fox Business as well. That was dope. That was dope. Definitely wanted to say that before I got off here. But boy, here's the thing. We had a pretty epic run, and you saw Bitcoin start to pull back a little bit before Ethereum, and finally ETH taking a breather. Listen, things pull back sometimes. I put a poll out on mine. Do we think we're going to hit 120K? I don't know yet. We're looking right now. We're having a breather, and I'm one of those people. I got to tell you, Randy, I don't like to give price predictions, not because I'm afraid to give them, but I'm watching the momentum waves on Market Cipher B.
Yeah.
And I was going to show this today. Maybe I'll show it next time. But you can set alerts on the waves themselves for when those green dots and red dots come up, and then those will alert you. So not just price alerts. It's really easy. You want me to show you real quick?
Yeah. Actually, show me,
You got
please.
a second?
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. So, because this is actually kind of helpful, because I'm like a momentum wave trader. I always say I'm a what do you call it? Oscillator trader, right? So you guys can see this down here. All you do is, if you right click on it, you can add alert, right? So, and this is XTZ. It's on whatever time frame you're on, 1 hour. And you can see how it says green dot right here, because I'm on Market Cipher B. It knows that.
Oh,
so I can say, yeah, so I could say, so these are the small green dots, and this is the big one. The big one is when it's really low. We'll just say, ignore the big one for a second. It's just so let's say green dot, right? So on the 1 hour chart, the green dot wave on the first is only going to happen once. I'm going to get an alert, and then it'll show up in here in my alerts that I just set it. So oops, not here. Let me see. I don't know what order I have these in, but basically, it will show me. This will give me an alert when this green dot appears down here on XTZ. That was the ticker we were on.
Oh, shoot. That's so awesome. Thank you for showing me that. I didn't know I could set an alert on that.
Yeah, so just right-click on it, right? Right-click, or because you can set an alert just by clicking this, right? You can click and say add. You can say add alert.
Oh, yes,
but what
yes,
that did
yes.
is that made a line, right? So if it went above this line, we would get the alert. But you could also just double-click on that, and you open it, and then you would change it from crossing to say like green dot, and then on the interval 1 hour, I guess you could change it right here too. I'll say, well, the 2 hour, I would like to get an alert when the blue wave is crossing up, a small green dot, and then you just hit it, and then I'll get an alert when the 2 hour, it would be in this case, the 2 hour, when we get a green dot on the 2 hour, and then that might be your indication of, okay, now it's time to go long, right? If that, because the green dot is when we found a bottom. So that's how you can set an alert on down here on the oscillator as well. It's not just like price chart alerts. And that's how
so
you can enter and exit on. I use Market Cipher B for entering and exiting. Because I'm like, okay, well, right now we're going down, but when do I get out? Well, maybe when the 30-minute, maybe when the 30-minute looks like it's starting to roll over again, right? Like right now we got a deep green dot, and that's when that one that says green dot, by the way, the big green dot, because crypto face. So if you move this up and down a bit, you see how this green dot, this is just built into Market Cipher B.
Yeah.
That green dot is when it's below the 60 line. It's when that big green dot. So like that's when you can look at it bigger like this. If you double click on it, then it expands it. And then you double click on it and it comes back small again. If you right click on it and we did the alert, the one that just says green dot, that's what that green dot is talking about. That big green dot that happens below the 6. That's what that one means. The crypto face when they program this. But if you don't have to wait necessarily for that one. I just usually kind of use the one that says small green dot, which would be all the other ones that are not the big green dot.
Yeah. Oh, that makes so much sense. Thank you for sharing that. That was actually really good. I can't believe I didn't know that.
Yeah, because now you're like, okay, well, when is price going to stop? I don't know, but I do know when momentum is stopping. You know what I mean? Because that's a great indicator.
I just got scared.
Good to see him on.
Oh, Jason Casper in the house. What happened, Jason? Hey, Jason Casper. I took his training course, by the way. So, if you guys are learning Market Cipher B, Market Cipher, Jason Casper's got a great training course as well. So
freaking Jason, this dude, I can't.
Tapping in with us, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Jason, we're gonna book a show. I'm gonna get on that. Jason is so, man, he's so awesome. He's got chickens.
Yeah, I love Jason. And you guys, he freestyles too on his show. If you haven't watched it yet, he just bust. He's on a treadmill. I got to give him credit freestyling is hard enough when you're trying to trade. He's doing it while he's on a treadmill as well.
So good.
You're like half out of breath, half trying to do TA, trying to get a beat playing. We already know how hard it is to get all this technical setup, and then he's busting a flow. So you know what I'm saying? You gotta give credit to Jason Casper for that.
No, he's so awesome. He has like chickens and everything like that. So he's eating good. He's eating healthy out there in the country, wherever he's at. But he's killing it. We love Jason. Thank you, Jason. You're so sweet. I appreciate you. All the love to you. Guys, we're getting after it. I'm like so bullish on life. I'm so bullish on Bitcoin. I'm bullish on every single person that's here. Now, we do have a members only after show that we're going to jump into Discord for right now. So hold on before TikTok shuts me off. Hold on.
Okay, yeah. I'll make sure I jump in this one as well.
Yeah. Jump into the Discord. And so we're going to hang out in there for a few minutes. If Cassius is able to jump in, which he's a member, he could. If Cassius, you want to jump in, you're more than welcome. But we're going to have all the members jump on in right now. We're going to go to Discord for you guys, hang out for a little bit. And then we're going to get after it today and just like take over the world as always. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day, a happy Wednesday. We are midweek and we're going to close it out strong. And I can't wait to do 2 more days of beautiful news with you. So have a beautiful day. Happy Wednesday. Thank you, Cassius. Please give him a follow every single platform possible. Listen to Bitcoin Besties and have a great day. Bye.